Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where we have another example of why you should never be together with a party girl. Let's begin. I was cheated on, and my wife feels like I should have moved on already. Posted by Reddit user Something More.
Was cheated on and my wife thinks I should be over it. My wife cheated on me with a coworker over 3 years ago. I had a suspicion something was up, a gut feeling like she was doing something. I looked at her phone one night while she slept. I don't feel a bit bad about it. When I looked at her phone, I found that she had been sending one of her coworkers' nude snaps. What made this worse was the nudes were from when we were having a kid-free night. She went to the bathroom and sent him pics. She sent pics from the couch while I was in the bathroom. I woke her up that night and confronted her. She apologized profusely but wouldn't give me many answers. I'll admit I scared her. I punched a metal door, injuring my hand, scaring her. She said it wasn't anything physical, just on Snap. She would only tell me she deleted Snap and was going no contact. I called a fair partner and confronted him. He lied and said he didn't know what I was talking about. I threatened him and told him I would be speaking with his wife. He hung up on me. I called a fair partner's wife and told her. She knew something was up, got the feeling something like this had happened before with them. Long story short, I stayed and tried reconciliation.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
My wife read a book but never gave me answers about the affair, always saying she forgot details, lies. 3 years later she treats me like I'm her everything, but I can't shake the feeling there was always more. She won't speak about it now, hated that I'm still in all these subs. Wants me to delete Reddit and move on. The affair partner left the job and moved on. I always honk my horn and flip him off when I drive by his house. I just can't forget what happened. I know people suffer worse than me, but I put this woman on a pedestal. I helped pay for her college and testing for her job, raised her teen son as my own, and now paying for it. I should have left when it happened, but I have a stepson I love and have raised since he was 3. He is my only reason for pushing forward when I found the cheating. If I leave, I don't know who will enter his life. His father is a piece of shit. I stayed for him. I take him to school, make his lunches, and coach his baseball and basketball teams. I do love my wife, but I'll never forget. I haven't told anyone about the cheating because of the shame. I can see she cares for me and knows I'm hurt, but she also knows I can't and won't forget.
I know this may sound harsh, OP, but you did this to yourself. You had the balls to threaten the affair partner, but not to leave a cheating hoe? Come on, man. You even married her knowing full well that she already has a son. You claimed that his father is a piece of shit. Is that what she told you? Because I'm pretty sure that's the exact same line she uses when describing you to someone else. She will cheat again, you damn donut. Just leave her now. You can still keep in contact with her son since he's a teenager already. And now for today's second story. My wife made out with another man. Posted by Reddit user Gameboys.
So just a little history on my wife and I have been together for 7 years, married for 3. We were high school sweethearts, and before anyone asks, we're Christians, so that's why so young. Anyway, both of us have had shitty childhoods and kind of bonded over that as we dated. Long story short, I moved out and left my family behind due to them not approving my wife due to her race and other things. So, after that I had no one but her. She was the first and only person I've ever been with, and same with her. All we had was each other. Fast forward to this past year. It has been very difficult for each other with both of us full-time in college and working. We barely have time for each other, and the time we do spend together we fight or just not have fun. It seemed like our marriage has been kind of falling apart. We had counseling and met with other married people for advice, and we started doing well. But life happens and we get busy and fall into a rut and into the same thing. Throughout our relationship, we both have questioned whether our relationship is going to work. Finally, last week we sat down and asked ourselves, is this worth it? Putting in more work, sacrificing for each other. I told her I couldn't do this for 7 more years just to still question, are we right for each other? Granted, I love her with all of my heart as she does will me. Until this last Saturday, her friend, who I don't trust, came back into town and invited my wife out for dinner and drinks. This is normal. I'm not one for going out drinking. Think it's a waste of money unless it's like a birthday or something. Anyway, I normally stay home and she goes. I tell her the same thing every time, stay safe. I go on with my night and I go to bed. I wake up with her not next to me, not out of the ordinary, and normally means she stay at a friend's house because she had a little too much to drink and she didn't want to drive. That's fine. I hear her walking in the door and just by looking at her, I can tell something is off. I asked if she's okay and she said no. Trying to comfort her, I asked her what's wrong. She was stumbling all over her words and couldn't look me in the eyes, so I definitely knew that something was wrong. She admitted that she had made out with another guy. I was completely thrown off guard. She isn't the type of person to do something like this. She doesn't flirt or anything like that, so I just didn't know what to say. I was curious, so I asked her what happened. After the bar, she and her friend went back to the friend's house. The friend and another guy went off to have sex while my wife and guy sat on couch. At first, she made it sound like that he came onto her and forced her to kiss him, but she stated that after he kissed her, she pulled back and then came in for another and started making out. Before I could say anything, she claimed that he put his arm around her and was making comments, and she said, "I'm in a relationship. Not I'm married." My heart just exploded. That to me was a clear sign of her wanting more. She said she didn't have sex with him and I believe her, but I also believed she wouldn't have kissed another guy. The two things that are the most important to me are loyalty and affection. I can't be with someone I don't trust 100%. I love her, but I need someone who has my back. I have asked people around me, and people say the typical anything is salvageable or some bullshit saying. So I guess I'm asking, what should I do? Is this considered cheating? Is this grounds for divorce? Is the marriage worth saving or can it be saved? Please help me.
OP, open your eyes. She spent the night. They didn't just make out, they had sex. That is why she came home the way she did. She was guilty. Adults don't just make out, they have sex, especially if they are intoxicated and have mutual attraction. They went to his house, for fuck's sake. And you're afraid of losing that kind of woman? Come on, dude, no. You can do so much better. And now for today's final story. I suspect a friend with benefits is lying about being pregnant and just wants money. How did you proceed if this has happened to you? Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA Potential Dad.
For the sake of the story, this person will simply be known as Sarah. I met Sarah at the start of August, and all the times we hooked up, 2 times, were on the 27th of August and the 30th of August. I don't really mind using specific dates since I know she's not the kind of person who would use Reddit. The first time, we didn't use protection, but I did purchase Plan B that same night for her along with a 3-pack of tests. She had video called me before she was going to take it. I didn't ask her to, but I figured it was to ease any concern I might have had, maybe, but she did step off from the view of the camera to take it. Not strange on its own, I acknowledge. The other time, I did use a condom, but there's a chance she might have slipped it off. Still conjecture, and I don't have solid proof. I suspect that because after the second time we had sex, I realized I didn't have my condom on when I went to lay down. She mentioned to me that she threw it away because it was full. Mind you, we were both smoking weed at the time, so I wasn't in a clear state. When I laid down, I realized I didn't have it on, and I think she realized that I realized. So she said she threw it away because it was full. I recently asked her about this interaction and she swore by her story that it was stuck inside her, so she threw it away. When I asked her, I detailed out all the times we had sex, when I got the Plan B for her, and about the time we did use a condom. She tells me that I forgot we had sex without a condom the first time, but I'm not sure why she would say that when I just mentioned to her that I already knew that about the first time. After this, I cut things off with her because she had been calling me love. At one point she told me that her daughter, who she had with a toxic partner, now in prison, had said something about how she finally found a real man. This doesn't seem like a 6-year-old thing to say. She became quite a pester, so I said my piece and we left amicably. On September 24th, she tells me she's pregnant, that she doesn't want to keep it, and she sends me a picture of a pregnancy test. It's not a picture of her holding it, but it was just a picture of it on a bed. I immediately offered to take her to an abortion clinic to at least get the consultation or whatever done, and she tells me she's just going to go to the emergency room. Why she would go to the emergency room, I'm not quite sure. She did say she was feeling sick, so there is that. A few days go by, and she sent me a screenshot of an appointment that said medical abortion with practitioner's name at some Planned Parenthood. She blurred out the location, understandable, but she also blurred out the time, but not the date itself. The screenshot also said that she used the pre-check-in and that she would need to make payments when she arrived. I talked to a few people who've had abortions, and they told me that you pay for the abortion right before the service. She tells me that she has until the 8th or 9th week to get the procedure done. She never specified which. Mind you, the Planned Parenthood website says that the pill can be used up to 11 weeks, and the surgical abortion up to 24 weeks. I'm in California where abortion is well and legal, pro-choice for the W. A day goes by and Sarah tells me that they said she would have to pay for the procedure out of pocket, and that she's sad and confused on whether to keep it or not because she would have to pay out of pocket. Doesn't make sense at all considering I'm the one paying for it, and a child is 100 million times more expensive than an abortion. Mind you, I had reiterated to her multiple times that I would pay for it at this point and that I would support her through it any way possible. Now that brings us to the current moment. She said she would call Planned Parenthood today and see about what appointments are available. She hasn't asked me for money so far, but I'd only be comfortable either bringing the cash to the clinic or paying through the portal. Since this post, she now wants money through an app or give cash to her mom. Has anyone ever been in a similar situation, and how did you proceed? For people familiar with the abortion process, what kind of steps did you go through?
OP. Stick to your gut feeling. Offer to pay for it through the clinic only, either through cash or a payment portal offered by the clinic itself. It's better to be safe than sorry. For now, it sounds like she's been pretty transparent through this process and just might be confused. It is a stressful time after all, and it sounds like she's not familiar with the process. It would be a kind offer to go with her and drive her home after the appointment. So go do that, OP. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.